How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the week. Maybe you had a long, maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was the market conditions while you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. Why did the turkey cross the road twice? To prove he wasn't chicken. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN continuing to have a pullback in the market. The markets were fairly choppy, but I want to make sure you guys have a strategy if you're considering this play, because I feel like it's very important to go over what we've been talking about as well in previous videos. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know those key levels. The reason why it's important, because I don't want any of you catching a falling knife. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why this is key, because we know the short interest does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And we're also going to be taking a look at recent institutional filings. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And I feel this is going to be very interesting due to the fact the markets did pull back quite a bit. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $8.53, being down 4.37%. On the low, it tested $8.48, and then on the high, testing $9.39. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 25.923 million shares, and then for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 83.217 million shares. So you can clearly see we did have well below the average when it came to volume, and plus on top of that, we did have a choppy pullback inside of the market, and OCGN was easily affected by this. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 45.69. And then when we take a look at the moving averages here in our chart, we are below the 21-day EMA. You can see that we're sitting right on the 50-day. We're also above the 200-day and as well as the 100-day. So what you can clearly notice here, OCGN has been on quite the downtrend, and that's how I was talking about in my previous videos. There's no point buying right now at the moment because you're just going to be catching a falling knife, and we're seeing that come together. Now, as far as for the next level, I want to see hold up. If we end up breaking through this 850 range, I'm going to want to see some strength right here around the 830s. And if the 830s doesn't hold up, then of course we're going to want to see some strength right here around the $8 range to be exact. So just above the 100-day, but again, we'd have to see if we could bounce off of that 200-day. So again, you just have to continue to be patient with this play. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for OCGN. As we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to be taking a look at the new or closed positions for the 10th. So we have US Bancorp D with 1,035 shares. So that's a recent filing we have seen. We already covered the rest. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 30.06%. And then for the dark pool short volume being just over 4.1 million shares. As we scroll down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 2.3 million, updated 22 minutes ago. And then for the short ball free rate, it is at 2.62%. As we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 8th, it was at 43.45, and we could see for the close of the 9th, which was yesterday, being at 30.06. So it has gone down quite a bit. So what this tells us, yes, there was a good amount of negative market sentiment around OCGN, but it's getting getting better. Shorts have actually covered on some of their positions, and no surprise there due to the fact the stock has pulled back a bit. But one of the things that we have to make sure of is keeping an eye on it, and I will make sure to keep you guys updated on that. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we could see here on the inflow is at 42.44, and then on the outflow it was 49.98. So you can see clearly we had an outflow day. When we take a look at the breakdown, we had 0 on the large. On the medium, we had 26.40, and then on the small, we had 16.04. On the outflow side, we had 0 on the large. On the medium, we had 32.96, and then on the small, we had 17.02. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, November the 10th, we had 0. When we take a look at the breakdown even further, we still had a good amount of buying that was coming in on the retail side, but we had more selling. And then when we take a look at the medium, we had more selling than we had buying as well, but to a higher degree. And then when we take a look at what was happening on the large, it was 0 for both. So most of the activity that was going on was between small and medium size orders. And as we take a look at the turnover ratio, it is at 13.12%. So it is very clear, yes, we did have some selling pressure on the day, and also seeing how the stock pulled back, many people are just like, hey, they were panicking. They're like, I don't want to be in this play anymore, and that is completely understandable. And it's part of the reasons why I was telling you guys, if you see OCGN as an investment, you should not buy right now, because you're going to catch yourself in the middle of a falling knife. So now let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, as far as the price action is concerned, we should not be surprised about it whatsoever. I was talking about this in previous videos, taking a look at the chart. It has been on a significant downtrend, and that is just continuing. But one thing that I'm very curious to know, if we're going to be able to hold up the $8 level by the end of the week. And the reason why this is very crucial, because if it does fall below $8, then of course, as far as $7 is concerned, it could go anywhere. And I'm being very clear about that, because I want to make sure that you know the risks that are involved if you decide to go into this play anyways. When we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential, and we also have noticed in regard to the short interest, it has come down, but it still contributes to the volatility, and due to the fact that shorts are still in it, it's part of the reasons why I still see some more downside. In order for all of this to reverse, we have to have a catalyst that ends up coming through. Of course, that would be great, would be that FDA EUA approval for the age groups of 2 to 18 for covaxin. That would really get the stock going. But outside of that, maybe some sort of a business update from OCGN will probably help. But for the most part, and taking into consideration how the markets have been, I can see the stock pulling back even further. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.